Yokohama, Japan was the third stop on the 2018 ITU World Triathlon Series, a familiar venue that we've been enjoying on tour for more than a decade. 53 women on the starting pontoon, including double world champion Flora Duffy, who'd won effortlessly in Bermuda a fortnight earlier. And Duffy, as per usual, was right up at the front in the early part of the swim. Full Olympic distance this race. As they came out for the first lap, no real surprise to see Summer Cook in front, and there's Duffy right on her heels. Katie Zafiris, who had by her standards not the greatest of swims in Bermuda, right back to her best here. On the second lap, Duffy right there still. A quick time too, 18:35 for those leaders. Duffy's transition is normally impeccable, and this was no exception. Everything in the box, quickly on with the helmet. Zafiris, the only woman threatening to keep up with her early. And for a short while, they threatened to have a two-woman breakaway at the front. Really well-supported event on a blisteringly hot day in Yokohama. They just didn't quite have enough of a lead to be able to sustain it. And they were soon joined by 9 or 10 other women on a flat but technically demanding course in Yokohama, just 45 kilometers or so from the capital, Tokyo. Duffy, remember, who'd failed to score any points in the opening race in Abu Dhabi when she crashed on the bike. That was in wet conditions. It was bone dry here, but there were still some incidents on the bike, and this was one of them, and a nasty one too. Alice Beto and Kirsten Kasper coming to grief. Beto could continue, but Kasper went to hospital for x-rays on a suspected fracture in her hand. So as they came off the bikes, 9 or 10 women together, including Duffy. Zafiris there as well, 2 Brits, Jodie Stimpson and Non Stanford. Lindemann, the young German, also in that leading group, as well as Van Koeverden. And Emma Jeffcoat, who'd recently won a World Cup race in China. Stimpson with the early lead, but you could see the looming figure of Flora Duffy there in the red. Soon she would go past the Brit and would run with Zafiris. We've seen this before on several occasions. Zafiris, who'd finished third in Bermuda, just losing out in a sprint finish with Vicky Holland, who wasn't in the field on this occasion, but soon Duffy took over. A real statement of intent yet again, and it wasn't long before she put some daylight, serious daylight, between herself and the American. Plenty of fans turned up in Yokohama. They certainly haven't lost their love affair with triathlon. Still more than 8 kilometers to go at this point, but Duffy away and gone. Non Stanford having a terrific race back in 3rd place. She hadn't finished on a podium for 2 years, but it was Duffy effortlessly again. A different manner of victory this to the way she'd won in Bermuda, this time showing her brilliance on the run. And a very quick time too. She'd have a bit of a wait until she saw Zafiris in second. Another gutsy display from Katie, and good points too, and a successive podium for her. And Non Stanford was running back in 3rd place, the first time she made a podium since she won in Cape Town 2 years ago. Clearly meant an awful lot to the Welshwoman, who's been plagued by injuries over the last couple of seasons. Yet another warning, though, to every other female triathlete that Flora Duffy is going to be fiendishly hard to beat. Successive victories, and even after scoring no points in the opening event of the season, she is back on top of the WTS rankings. She'll be very hard to catch. In some ways, was that even more impressive than Bermuda? Because you're off the bike with 8 other women, and you just ran away from them.
Sure, I don't know if it was more impressive, it was a lot harder, that's for sure. I mean, coming off of a big high in April with Commonwealth and Bermuda, it was definitely a stretch and a push to get here. But yeah, I'm very happy with my race. I mean, I think I often don't get enough credit for my running, so came off with a group of really strong runners and just, yeah.
And time for our photo session.